All right. So this should go live now, hopefully. Hopefully you're seeing me. As with every Makers Muse stream, it's always a little bit unsure, and the internet is 4G, so it may or may not cut out at any moment. But we'll see. It says stream status bad. We're not receiving data from a fast enough rate. Okay. That's not good. Oh, no, I'm coming through. Oh dear. Anyway, hello. Let me know if you can hear me properly. Let me know if you can see me properly. And yes, Boomerang, hello. Sparky, yay, we've got something that's working. Yep, I do indeed 3D Maker Noob need coffee or Red Bull. I need Mother today. This was not sponsored by Mother. Sorry headphone users. It's just all they had in the petrol station. So, it seems that I can't get much of a downstream on my end, and it is buffering, which is not the best. But let me know what's happening. It is an overcast day, and who knows, this is a 4G dongle. I'm still waiting on getting my fiber, which is really, really painful. Yeah, this is not good. I'm just going to move the dongle, I guess. Maybe if I move it, it'll help. I moved down here for fast internet, and I can't even get it. There we go. I'm playing myself. Okay, sorry. A little bit more chaotic than usual. The dongle reset itself. Why are you doing that? Please. Okay. It's saying good stream status. I can't cut a break, can I? Everything I do is just a disaster. Okay. What I did is I replaced the micro USB cable. So it seems in my box of cables, I have about 10 micro USB cables, and they all seem to be completely buggered. So before this stream begins, I'm going to make sure I never use this cable ever again. There we go. Never again. All right, guys, welcome to Makers Muse. My name is Angus. I'm going to cut all of that out. So I'm going to cut the stream from this point onwards. So none of that is included. This is the 101 Hero, and a little bit of a backstory from the 101 Hero. This was a Kickstarter campaign and an Indiegogo campaign, and you can pre-order it directly from China not too long ago, like maybe a couple of months, maybe 4 or so months, I can't remember exactly. And I made a video on it. I was doing a series of Kickstarter analysis videos, and this one was like the cheapest 3D printer you could get. essentially. And as a joke, I backed it. So what I actually backed, and I had forgotten this till last night, I had a little bit of a mini panic attack, but it's fine. I actually backed the consumer version. So this is the cheapest one you could get that they had. This is the $49 US consumer version early bird, plus $30 to ship it to Australia. So it was $79 US total for a 3D printer. But I have done a little bit of digging, and I suspect that being a consumer version isn't going to be much of a big deal. So anyway, let's get into the packaging. And yes, as Dion 3D printing would have noticed, the packaging on it is actually awesome. So it's designed to be essentially attractive to kids. I think it's the world's first toy 3D printer. Like the price is, let's be honest, less than a Lego kit in most cases. And it's designed to appeal to kids. So the packaging is actually really nice. Also with the audio, I have bumped the gain up and then added a noise reduction. So let me know if that's okay. I tried to make it a little bit louder than last time. And I left this bubble wrap on to prove to you I haven't done anything. I haven't even looked at it. It may be broken. There's been a lot of cases of these arriving broken, but we'll see. Okay. So there you go. So this is the 101 Hero box. And I'm going to show you that nice close up there. It is pretty cool. It has really nice graphics actually. Bit of damage there. That's a little bit of a concern. And there, that's also a bit of a concern. It didn't come in an external hard box. It came in just a satchel. There's nothing holding the top and bottom together. For ages 8 and up, with assembly instruction, 101 Hero Pylon 3D printer. And then, the world could always use more heroes. No. Oh, wait, there's a massive... Oh, Jesus. All right, well, there's a bit of damage. Interesting. All right, so let's get into it. I'll try to keep a track of the chat as well, but no promises. All right. So I did order a red one because, as I justified in my stream, the red ones go faster, basically. But this looks more orange to me. But what we have is the top and bottom plates, as well as the glass plate that doesn't look damaged. I'll put that over there. We have some filament, like that. I've got enough to keep me going though. Little manual, quick start guide, that's pretty cute. We have the control box. This is the bit I was interested in. So control box, yeah, I suspected as much. All right, so I ordered the consumer version and it still has the USB port. So I suspected, why would they make more than one version? And that's my justification there. It would cost them more money. So clearly they're both the same. Or at least maybe the firmware is different, but the box is the same. So that's a control box. We have the SD card adapter. So apparently some people didn't get this in their box, but luckily I do. We have the pylons, so there should be 3 of these. Obviously it's a Delta kit. So 1, 2, there's the extruder. So it's popping out. That's your extruder. So looks custom. It actually looks like a 3D printing pen tip, and they've just made it into a normal extruder. So that's a 3D printing pen, basically. And the last pylon. And what else? Power adapter. That feels really light. I don't think this is very good with a bent pin. That's where I can fix that. I'll fix it later. It says import 240 volts. Yeah, that's good. 12 volts, 3 amps. 3 amps. That is not much amps. I might use a different adapter. And some tape. And some, as they say in the video, clippers. All right. So that's it. That's all there is. Now I can look at the chat again. Sorry about that. Yeah, so there was not much packaging protection. I can probably fix this. Not too difficult. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Totally safe. Right, Mother, not Red Bull this time. All right, so to put some speculation to rest, 101 Hero have no idea who I am, basically. I have not been in contact with them beyond being a normal backer. I literally just backed it and waited. So this has not been cherry-picked, and this is a kit that any of you could have received. But I have heard that some are getting better kits than others. That's why I intentionally went for the red one, because it wasn't going to be the first shipped. The blue one shipped first, and those ones seemed to have the first round of problems. So that's why I went for a later generation. And I'm kind of glad I did. All right, so we've got our top and bottom plates. That is pretty nice injection molding, I'll be honest. You can see the tooling lines, but that's fine. Actually, you can't even see them on that surface thing. Give it a nice matte finish. We have the glass plate. No, it's not heated. It's not a heated bed. It's just glass plate. And then you put tape on this, and that's where you print on. So I'm going to put that there safely. Other top and bottom plate. It's very cleverly designed. The top and bottom plates are the same mold, so cheap. And each of these pylon designs uses the same half mold, actually. They overlap each other. Oh, wait, do they? I think so. Maybe. We'll find out. Okay. Being very careful because this is a very delicate, it's a toy. It's a toy 3D printer. It's very delicate. That's pretty nice, actually. I mean, considering it's so cheap, this is pretty nice. I'll give you a nice close-up on that. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they'd use glass on a kid's toy as well. Honestly, I would have thought they'd use acrylic, but glass isn't too bad. So that's these are our uprights. And what I think people are doing, these motors are absolutely tiny. They're geared 1 to 32 apparently, although that may or not be accurate. Actually, no, it is. That's right. They're 1 to 32. They're not 1 to 64 like the ones on eBay. And people are moving these when they're powered off or when they're powered on, which is even worse. And there's these tiny plastic gears in this motor, like really small, and they're breaking them. So I'm not going to move this at all unless it's moving itself, essentially. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, so no heated bed, PLA only. You're not going to get much, let's be honest, not going to get much off this. All right, let's put this, there's no room. No, it's on the floor. Sorry, 101 box. Okay. So I'm going to get everything out of the packaging, last pylons. Yeah. So funny story though. So this is a very cheap machine with those tiny motors. But if you've ever owned a M3D Micro, you might want to have a look at the motors that's in that machine as well. Because you're paying a lot more for, yeah, let's just say not much more torque. Or maybe exactly the same. Okay, put these aside. There are uprights. Make them all the same way. Got our top and bottom plates. So before I assemble this, I really want to know what's in this box. And I'm sure you guys want to know as well. I suspect it's a Melzi, but it may be custom. So let's whip it open before we even start building this machine. So I'm taking it apart before I even build it. I'm curious to see what's inside. So 1 second. Screwdrivers. Breaking all the things. Oh no, not again. Sorry about the lag. It's a very overcast day and who knows what's going on. All right. Yeah. I think if I move too much, I like get in the way of the signal or something. I almost had NBN installed. but the guys were idiots and wanted to dig up the neighbor's garden and went into their garden without permission, and I got in trouble. Anyway, so let's crack this open. All right. So there you go, get a nice view of that. So I'm going to see what's in this box before I do anything, just to see what they're using. Because it's such a cheap machine that, you know, you could always adapt these parts for other things. And it's a really nice little control box. Okay. There we go. So I believe that is custom. Here you go. First look at the 101, is that in focus? 101 Hero control box. We've got, it does look like, I don't know, Atmel, AV, yep, so it's probably just an Arduino form factor. There is 2 FETs. Are they FETs or? Oh no, 5 volts, so just 1 FET. Okay, so it's a completely custom board. It won't drive anything more than just the extruder probably. Although I could be wrong. Take a look at it, guys. And there is 4 drivers for our motors. Obviously no heat sinks because they're so tiny. Anyway, thought you'd find that interesting. Does it have a socket for a heated bed? No. No, it does not, unfortunately. Okay, put him back together. Put the reset switch the wrong way around. Whoops. It's definitely, you can tell it's been designed in Shenzhen. Like the way it's been made and constructed, it's very much like a lot of toys you get there. Like the button is also plastic, but it's just free floating in the enclosure. It's very much like you'd receive a little cheap, although I shouldn't discount it too much. It is well designed so far, but it does feel like I'm taking apart like a cheap toy piano. Okay, that's back together. That's back together. Cool. Okay, so control box, extruder, tape. They even had some tools. I mean, come on, it's got some zip ties and tape and screws to hold everything together. Good, right. Put that there, the full, and that can go there. Yeah, sorry about the lag, guys. Again, I don't have internet yet. It's a nightmare. Everything I do, everywhere I go, it's just terrible. So what I want to do before I assemble it, and that light just died. Have I just lost power? Right, interesting. Never mind. So what I want to do before I assemble it is to move these to the top, the pylons to the top, by under power, not moving them manually. So I'm going to wire it together before assembling it, if that makes sense. Okay, what I'm going to do is switch over to the dongle in wireless mode so it can stop just stuffing everything up for me. Honestly, this is just a nightmare. I have no idea what's going on. Really sorry about this, guys. I did a perfect stream last week. No issues at all, and now today it's just gone out the window and haven't changed a single thing. So I'm just trying to find out what's... It might be Windows 10 forcing an update. It may well be. I absolutely hate Windows 10, I will be honest. Okay. Look, okay, I'm not touching the computer if it lags. Try to keep track of it. Sorry about that. Probably won't be able to re-upload this stream because of that, which sucks. As I said, I want to assemble it. I want to wire it up before I assemble it to make sure the motors are in the right place. So it's got a little manual, which is cute. I'm just going to skip right to the wiring. And are they actually marked? No. Connect the controller. Right. Okay, that doesn't really help me much. Do they have... Oh, they do. Okay, so the plugs have numbers on letters on them, which does help because the manual has little letters as well. Yeah, I know I can disable all the stuff, but then you get security. Oh, it's just done it again. I'm going to drop my bit rate down a little bit. That may or may not help. I just spent $125 on 20 gigs of data. So if, yeah. I'm just going to stop mind playing. Sorry, guys. Really, really trying. All right, I'm going to get this thing assembled. So got the wires out. Wires. It's difficult enough to put together a 3D printing kit regardless of internet issues. You know, Australia, land of the terrible everything. Okay, so this is H. So H is there. No. Okay. So I was pretty much going to try to plug it in where it suggests. C is there. This is A is there. Because this will verify to me as well if anything's broken in transit, which is important as well. B there. Yeah. Most people with the NBN co-internet, it's still not very good. But yeah, just let me know if it freezes again, because I can't see it anymore. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this one is J. If this was my first 3D printing experience, like kit or such, it's not bad. It's pretty easy to assemble. Well, wire at least, so far. So what I'm going to do now is move these arms out of the way so they don't jam up on anything. Like that. There we go. That should do it. Yep, that'll do. And apparently there's like just a homing command, which is just G28 for the SD card. There's no SD card. Again, awesome. Don't you guys learn? It's like, do you get a 2 gig one? Okay, where's the blocks? That was a knife, it's fine, it wasn't the blocks. All right, so I use the blocks as SD card. Okay. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll have to format it because it's going to run any code. This, as I said, this is the consumer version. It'll run any code that I put onto the SD card. So I'm going to have to get rid of what's on there already, which sort of sucks, but whatever. So let's format that. Start. Right, and I will show you the desktop. portal. Sorry, seeing walls and walls. So I made a folder for 101 Hero, and they have this back home movement, which is just a file, but it's actually just G28. I opened it up in Notepad. If you go open with, and then Notepad, it's just G28, which is home all axes. So let's copy that across. All right, take you back to this one. Right, and I'm going to plug the power adapter in. Hopefully it doesn't blow up my house. There we go. Yep. All right, it's powered on. I really hope this is enough current. I mean, 3 amps at 12 volts is not that much. I mean, for a hot end, a bit sketchy. Okay, put the SD card in. I assume you meant to have it in at the start, but maybe not. We'll see. And let's find out. It's moving. It's moving. I'm getting ready to stop it if it stuffs up. Oh shit, nope. Of course there had to be something wrong. The arm started jamming. So let's try that again. Right, that one's not. Oh, great. Well, why is it hurting? Why is that so sharp? Ow. Well, this one doesn't have the cover for the limit switch. Great. So I'll show you what I mean. Right. So this one doesn't have the metal bit, which it should have. Right. Which means it can't home. I do have stuff somewhere, but it might be in the cover that it came in. Let me have a quick look. Not in that one. Not in that one. Not in that one. Ooh, all right. It's in none of the bags. Yep, so that's a disaster. So what I'm going to do is I'll move this a bit closer. I'm going to just push it by myself, like with a screwdriver. There's a flat screwdriver. Yep, okay, so I'm going to do that, and then they should all be homed at the top. I can fix that. It's just, if someone had bought this machine, that would have just broken their motor, basically. Sorry, but Mike's just absolutely ripping up my skin for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to move this closer. Okay, so that worked, but not impressed. Not impressed 101 at all. And I've seen this happen a few times. I mean, it does happen in shipping sometimes, but that wasn't in the bag, which means it didn't happen in shipping. It means it happened in their assembly process, and no one bothered to check. Right. Anyway, so that's done. I can unplug everything and assemble the machine. Now everything's moved to the top. Back to the chat. Did those tools come with a printer? No, they did not. It did not come with anything except one Allen key, which is this. So the tools are mine. They do not come with the machine. Right, so for those that missed it, the limit switch on one of the pylons was missing the metal cover that actuates the the micro switch. So what happened is it homed up and then just kept trying to home, and I saw it and stopped it quickly so it didn't break. But had a newcomer to 3D printing done that, they would have not known what was happening and it would have destroyed the motor, because these motors are so tiny and they have tiny plastic gears that any prolonged stress on them will just destroy them. So that's what happened. Is the frame plastic ABS? It may be ABS or HIPS, high impact polystyrene. Yeah, one or the other. But it's the plates are nice and rigid. They're pretty good. The injection molding's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not happy with the quality control so far. Although at least mine all moved, I guess. Turn the switch alone around so the button is pressed instead of the lever. Yes, that'll work. Good point. Although, yeah, no, that should work. I'll do that. Thank you. That was Boomerang Freak, I think. Okay, let's get this bad boy assembled. So, got our pylons. And essentially, we're going to get these base plates. Was there Joel? Yay, it's Joel. Thanks for joining my disastrous stream. Although it's disastrous in different ways than I suspected. The internet decided to be a butt. Okay, so this will go together somehow. How does it go together? Oh, it's on the top. Ooh, a dope. So it goes like that. Okay, so put it there. And what screws does it use? Uses the M4. They're not M4. They're China. Self-tapping. Yeah. Yeah, I assume that they mean these ones. So these aren't machine screws. They're something else. But whatever. In they go. And again, not coming with a screwdriver, I need to grab... Oh, I've got one actually. I'm super organized. There we go. Maybe big enough. No, it's not. Okay. Uno momento. Right. Bigger screwdriver. Right. So basically, I need to whack these screws in, and they will tap into the plastic and hold everything in place. Yeah, I'm kind of reading the manual. Pay attention to the gap between the stand modules and the bottom cover modules. Yep. Ah, rats through there. Okay, thank you. I will pay attention to the manual from now on. It's hard to do everything at once. So that route's like that. Okay, that's cool. No worries. All right, put the other screw in. Right. So saying the wire should go through the gap and not be overlaid by the cover module. So assume the wire means this wire should go up through what gap? Through the back? Or it means this wire? I don't know, one of them. And there's no way that goes up there because it's not going to reach. It is upside down. Right. Yes, it is. Thank you, guys. Not my finest hour, I will be honest. Thank you. I am upside down. Right now, I am not the best. There we go. That makes more sense. I was wondering what those things were for. That's a lot better. Right. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lack of the caffeine. It's really hot today. It is so stinking humid. It is not fun. Did the actuator fall on the floor? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Every time I read something wrong, I should have a shot of vodka. If I did that, I would be smashed well before the end of the stream. Right. Am I using the right screws? I mean, these are the plastic tapping screws. Are these the right screws? These ones for these? Or am I meant to use these ones? Because these look like M3s and it's saying M4, which I suspect are these. But these aren't M4 really, they're something else. Let me know, please. I would appreciate the input. Oh, Jatman, I don't need more Red Bull. It'll probably end even more disaster. Probably even more disastrous. Small ones with the arms. Excellent. Okay, thank you. So I wanted to know. Why I should go below the plate. Okay. How? How do wires go below the plate? We should look at a photo of this. Because you've got no, okay, I got it. I got it. Never mind me. I have got it. Thank you, Unlikely, for laying down the band hammer. I appreciate it. Right, so what you're all saying is actually this happens. Because that makes more sense. So then we can have everything running under the plate. All right, only took me like 20 minutes to figure it out, probably longer. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, now I can move on to the rest. How long did the printer take to ship? I have no idea. Basically, I got an email from them halfway through December asking me to confirm my delivery instructions, and then nothing. Radio silence. And then this just showed up randomly on my birthday, actually, last week. So about a week ago. And yeah, it just, there was no tracking number sent or anything. It just showed up. Okay, that's in. So I'll just repeat the process around the machine. Okay, run these down. Yeah, I mean, for kids, they would break this. Absolutely. What you'd need to do to make this kid-proof is you'd need to harden all the wiring. So you need to have it just have a plug there or something. None of this, routing stuff, because if anything's uncertain, you can guarantee kids will wreck it. I'm only putting 2 screws for the moment just so I can get it together. The internet has apparently killed itself again. No, 2 megabytes a second up, megabits a second. That's all right. Yeah. I am really not happy with how the internet's going right now. Oh, Jesus, really? Why? Why? All right, I'm going to drop the bit rate down a little bit more. I'm so unimpressed. I might not be able to stream again till this is resolved. Okay. And I'm going to open the window because, no, I won't. It's too noisy. People are being stupid outside. Right. Yeah, 2 megabit per second is the best it's doing, which is rubbish. It should be getting like 10. Anyway, never mind. Continue to put this thing together. Thanks. I love Adventure Time. It's a great shirt. I've worn the heck out of it. Is there a slicer delivered with settings for the kit? Yeah, they recommend using the old version of Cura because the new one doesn't support deltas anymore, from what I understand, which is a bit hacky, but I don't know. I'm planning to use Simplify 3D with it, let's be honest. Why would I bother using an old, outdated version of Cura? Okay, it's good. No wires are pinched. So considering the fit of these parts, they're actually pretty good. Not too bad at all, actually. Considering they're injection molded and the machine was so cheap. Keep in mind, I only paid, it would have been $100 Australian, but $70 or 75 US shipped. And the actual pledge was 49 US. All the prints they provide on their site are sliced and simplify 3D. Yes, actually they are. I did a quick check last night with some of their demo files and I opened up the files in Notepad and they are all sliced and simplify 3D, which is something I was going to save till later, but yeah, so I can steal their settings from that. Also, I'm pretty sure that violates Simplify 3D's terms of service, but I doubt they have a real copy anyway. Thickness of the injection molded parts, you're looking at 2 millimeters, then there's ribs, so it's pretty thin. Okay. All right, that's like that. So, just make sure the top fits on properly before I put the last screws in the bottom. All right, that's fine, that's fine, it's fine. So how does this go? So that will go like that, in theory. Make sure none of the wires are crushed. Yep, okay, so that's kind of how it's going to look, I guess. Right. Is the plate glass or plastic? The plate is glass, surprisingly. I would have not expected the plate to be glass because it's for kids, but yeah, it's glass. And I suspect that's probably quite dangerous. I have to say, once these screws tighten up, it gets pretty strong. It's floppy because the base doesn't have any top support, but it's actually more rigid than I expected. Friday 13 curse. Honestly, I had a terrible night's sleep, probably because of the Friday the 13th thing. No, I don't know, but it could be the curse flowing in from you guys in the States. Maybe. Well, this one's much smaller than the others. So there's some smaller ones as well, which is interesting. Not going to use those. Okay. Have I played with Craftware? It allows individual placing supports by Simplify 3D. Yeah, I did a whole 3D printing showdown ages ago. Actually, I need to update that. But yeah, Craftware lets you do customizable supports, but I think the newest version apparently can't be used on other machines. You can't set custom profiles. That may be completely misinformation, but that's what I've heard. I haven't had a chance to look at it again since. The two small ones are to close the extruder door. Thank you, Godzilla. I appreciate that. That's why I keep you guys around. Okay. Last few screws for the bottom plate. That is a small printer. Yeah, this thing's tiny. Although the Fab Mini's smaller, I think this has a slightly bigger volume than the Fab Mini, but it's, again, not much. Not much at all. Frank's friends are saying misinformation. Okay, I will have to check out Craftware to see how you add custom profiles. What's the build volume? So I believe the build volume on this is, was it 148 or something? And then 90? Something like that? I think it's meant to be 150 by 100, but I think it's less than that. But we'll see what we actually get out of the machine. Okay. All right. That's good, that's good, that's good. One thing I'm not sure on is the, I guess the orientation of which one goes into which plug, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, that's done. And let's run to the top. So let's do the next one to the top plate. It is very clever how they've designed these plates to work on both sides of the machine. I will say that's very clever of these guys. If you only had to pay for one mold, it's half the price. Drinking Mother, Red Bull Trader. They're cheap, basically. Okay, Godzilla's saying 10 by 10. That sounds about right. I wouldn't expect any much bigger than that. I don't want to mix up the small screws. I'll put them over there. So some people are asking about the 404 villain project. So what that was is I started copying this machine before it even came out in Onshape with the intentions of designing my own. And I still want to do that. But last year was a complete nightmare for me. I had to deal with a lot of things and a lot of projects went out the window. Also, Onshape changed their terms of services. So now if you have a free account, you can no longer have up to 10 private documents. You can only have you can have none, actually. No private documents. You can only have public. And I don't want to design a 3D printer that's... It will be open source, but I don't want to design something that then is like open to the public and not finished. Like an unfinished project that's on display, I think is terrible because we all go through iterations and we all change things. And I don't want that. So I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to continue it in Onshape at this stage. I may well pick it up again in Fusion 360, but I need to learn Fusion 360 now. Nightmare for everyone. Yeah, it was not a good year. That is... Why is that just dropping through? There we go. That's that one. Cool. All right. Well, that seems to be the screws for the main frame. I need to learn how to use Fusion 360 more in terms of the assembly. How to use the assembly mode. Anyway, so that's together. Mounting the extruder. Mount the extruder with the 6 pieces of connected rods, then mounting the screws at the edge of the extruder. Okay, so here's our extruder. Again, it's pretty much a 3D pen in extruder form. Let's change you over. There you go. Give it a closer look. So how much did it cost? Again, I got the early bird. I just took a punt on this. And this is the supposedly consumer version, and it cost $49 US plus shipping, which is ridiculous for a 3D printer. I mean, I'm more interested in the manufacturing of it, how they'd make one this cheap. rather than actually using it as a printer. It's more of a showpiece for me. Or maybe a piece of history, you know, the turning point when 3D printers became affordable for just kids, like throwaway objects for Christmas. I don't know. All right, that's good. And I need to cut that. Where's my knife? On the floor. Is the nozzle replaceable? We'll find out very shortly. Wish I had some scissors on hand. Right. So the nozzle does not look replaceable. If you can see there, it looks, there you go. Yeah, it's a 3D printing pen assembly. It does not look replaceable in the slightest. One finger less, quite possibly. I probably shouldn't have done that. Right, so run these wires up. It's also clever how it is flat packed in such a small box. I mean, shipping a machine this large would be a lot more expensive, but shipping it flat packed is quite clever. So what we're going to do is essentially attach these arms, which are, they've got little sort of elbow or shoulder joints, I guess. Ball joints, that's the one. Using these little M3 screws, all right? So let's do that. Cool. Yeah, no, I know Fusion can work with assemblies fine. I just need to learn the minutiae of how to do it. Because I come from a SolidWorks background, and Fusion, although it does try to be friendly to SolidWorks users, it's not. It's really different. So it's challenging for me to pick up how it works. This is not easy to do at this angle. Okay, put you through the hole. I assume it doesn't matter which way the extruder faces. Come on, tap, just get some thread in. There we go. Can I do something on the ANET A8? A lot of people are asking, loads of people are asking about the ANET A8. I have no intention at this current time of reviewing one, just because I've got another cheap kit on the way, which is the Tronxy, which is even cheaper than the ANET A8 that I'm going to be testing. Maybe down the track, but at this stage, I have blown my budget for the year already on printers I don't need. So I'm going to see how the Tronxy goes, and there's loads of content already on the ANET A8. These are fiddly. These are really fiddly. Have I tried Vectory? Only barely. I need to play with it much more. And I mentioned it in my last video talking about what's going to happen in 2017 and why it's such a good time to get into 3D printing. And Vectory I mentioned, and they actually reached out to me and said, hey, thanks for that, which is cool. So I need to learn it more. I think their plan is to have like professional level sort of memberships as well, but I need to learn it a little bit better before I feature it in videos. Right. Yeah, it's hard to manage a stream which is dropping out of internet and I guess put together a kit that you have no idea what you're doing because you haven't even looked at instructions. Story of my life. But it shouldn't take as long as putting a Chinese kit together like the TiVo Tarantula or I guess any other sort of kit you'd get. This is more of a flat packed experience. Getting these screws lined up is so hard. it's hard to get purchase. There we go. How is Lady Muse? Yeah, she's all right. She will be back soon. Next week, actually, I think, which is good. She's a lot better, and thank you for asking. I'll pass it on. Plastic Princess. Call me Thomas. Marco, would I recommend buying the Cetus? Honestly, the Cetus is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. If you're okay with a proprietary slicer, which is kind of limited but easy to use, and you're okay with PLA only, then yeah, it's a great printer for the price, absolutely. But if you want anything more than that, then no, it's not a good printer. Oh, come on. So fiddly. It's like even worse than Meccano. Just getting those first threads in is difficult. Could be entertaining to try ABS on this printer. There is no way ABS would work on this printer at all. No chance. If you want to see me break it, which it probably will break itself, then sure. But at this stage, no. Okay. So I have to keep in mind, I need to remember the limit switch is broken. So I need to flip it around at some point. Probably would have been easier to do that when it was disassembled, but oh well. Is there a Simplify 3D setting for the 101 Hero? Well, yeah, as we were just discussing before, all of their files on the 101 land seem to be sliced. Oh, sorry, headphone users, RIP. They all seem to be sliced in Simplify 3D anyway. So I'm just going to copy their files, their settings, and then make a profile. Yeah, don't forget to sort the micro switch out. I will not forget. I will not forget. Okay. It's also quite ironic that this is the first Delta I've actually owned. I've worked on Deltas before, but I've never actually owned one. So not only am I learning how to use a very cheap printer, I'm also learning how to use Deltas for the first time, really. And that's going to be interesting. Hope it doesn't ruin Deltas for me. No, it definitely won't. I will definitely see better Deltas in my days. Absolutely. Okay, it's pretty good. Right. So, yeah, a bit of play in that. Okay, let's figure out this limit switch before I forget. So let's tip them on its side. So that's the one. So need a screwdriver. You can never make a good straight line. I'm sure that comes down to all the homing. If they home out of alignment, you're never going to get a straight line because it relies on all the motors to make that line rather than just a standard Cartesian. The line might be skewed, but at least it'll be straight. Okay. So I'm going to switch. Oh god, this is like surgery. This is so fragile. I do not want to break anything. Okay, those are small screws. Okay, let's flip them around. I'm just going to loosen this side a little bit. So how are you guys going? Having a good day? A good Friday or Saturday morning or Friday night? Let me know. Sure you're having a better time than me. Bird in the Rock's great. Unlucky Creators is sick. So I ordered a red one, and this is orange. This is not red. Let's be honest. This is definitely orange. but I don't really care. That's to be honest. Okay, that is good. Right, micro switch surgery is complete with, I hope, success. Ah, don't crush the connectors. Okay, all right. Now the fun part. Let's get these wires. Okay, so we have all the wires and the extruder wires, which just kind of dangle at the top. I will probably get some spiralized wire protectors for this, but again, you don't want any weight on the head because there's no torque. Right. Okay, so again, let's get to the, it says to feed the filament, but fine, I'll do it as per the instructions. Let's do that. So let's feed the filament. Okay, I'll show you what I did. All right, so essentially the micro switch should, if you can see beyond that mess of wires, should look like that. There should be a little lever that's pressed. However, this one, oh, sorry, get you in there. This one does not have the lever, so I had to flip it around so it just presses the toggle. That's what I did. Right. So now we need to load up the extruder. So the extruder gear itself is really weird. It's just like a knurled wheel. Again, it's pretty much what they use in the 3D pens. So run the filament through, knurled wheel, and then you close the gate. I suppose that's how you do it. Yes, it is very flimsy. Okay, filament and cutters. I'll use their filament because why not? Okay. Okay, let's run that through the top. Through the gate. Lining it up is fun. Might need a little bit of assistance there. There's no guide beyond the gear itself. It just sort of goes past it. There's not even a concave face on it. So just in case any of you are hoping to print flexible materials on this machine, you can give up on that dream right now. There's no chance. Okay, and we've got the screws to close said gate. Will it be better than Tico? That would be a shock, but I suspect not, to be honest. I mean, the Tico's not great, but at least it has semi-real motors. This, not really. All right. There we go. I haven't tightened up too much, just in case it puts too much stress on it. May have a bed level issue with the change of the limit switch. Quite possibly. Do not use their filament. All right, I won't use their filament. What's wrong with their filament? Is it just shite? Again, that's a great start if you're like never had a 3D printer before and then you can't use the filament that comes with it. Right. Well, I'll just whip that out then and just dispose of that. Filament, that doesn't suck. Let's have a look. Let's go with this stuff from Cocoon Create, which is When How. And there goes the rest of the rolls. Okay, the quality is terrible apparently. All right, that's fine. I can cope. I'll go with this green. That'll do. Down you go. All right. Free filament. Free filament that no one wants. Yeah, no, when I meant filament that doesn't suck, I kind of meant filament that would print on it. Not like polycarbonate, PC Max, or nylon, or ABS, or Flex, or anything that would just destroy this machine. Okay, good, all right. So now we can plug it in, I guess. We've got the plates. Oh, I need to do the tape. It's been so long since I've done tape. All right, well, this is what it comes with, which is different to what they show in the video. Does the tape suck as well? I'm pretty sure the tape sucks, but I'm going to use it anyway because YOLO. Free Chinese filament with ball bearings. When eSun first came out, I remember there was that case where people found ruby ball bearings in their filament, and people were finding metal swarf and fragments of various things. That was fun. That was pretty funny. Good times. Good times when people thought to make filament flexible because you couldn't buy flex filament, it would be a good idea to dunk PLA in Carby cleaner and soften it that way, which which sounds very safe. Yes, it wasn't as easy to get all these cool things. So they say you cut this stuff off. Cut it off, not go under the plate. So NTW uses glue on the bed without tape. I'm going to go with tape for now, just because I put it on. If that doesn't work, I'll go with glue. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right. Spam me can. Okay, put the plate in place. And let's wire it up. We'll need to clip it in place, obviously, but let's just wire it up first. So again, let's go to this, connect the controller. So I'm not sure how the order matters. I'm sure it does, but I'm going to connect it as it recommends, and then we'll see how the 3D print's wrong, I suppose, and which axis it's wrong. So let's go back to this. So this is B. Sorry, and this is deja vu for some of you. Also, has the internet settled down? I really hope it has. I'm really not impressed with how terrible Australian everything is. As I said, we had a guy come to install the NBN. He called me 10 minutes in advance, said, I'm on my way. I'm like, what, you weren't even scheduled to come today. And he just walked into the neighbor's yard. And she's got like a 2-year-old kid. And she was terrified. I'm like, yeah, what the heck are you doing? So I had to talk to the real estate agents and be like, I'm sorry, I had no idea he was going to do that. And they were talking about digging up the garden. They're all just idiots. I just want fast internet. How hard is it to get? Oh dear. I put this together pretty quick. I would say I put this together probably the slowest that anyone has put a 101 hero together. Honestly, considering how many mistakes I made. And I'm talking at the same time, but you know how it is. At least I hope it's entertaining for you guys in some manner. Okay, we've got this, which is F. So that's there. At least everything's very clearly labeled, which is nice. So we can make sure we get it in the right things because they're all the same plug. So you wouldn't want to wire the thermistor into the hot end, would you? That would be disastrous. And G. Okay. Well, that's supposedly how it goes together. We can try homing it again, I suppose. Is the glass borosilicate? No idea. I have no idea. Maybe. Probably not. Probably the cheapest of the cheapest that you could buy in the Shenzhen electronic markets. There you go. Put the clippers in place, as they call them. They barely reach the bed, actually. That's a bit disconcerting. All right, pause for some water. Love the cable management. Yeah, even in the video on Kickstarter, there was no cable management. I just need to make sure there's enough slack in the overhead wires so it doesn't kill itself. But yeah, all right, that's fine. And plug. So I'm going to try homing it again. Hopefully it does home this time properly. Woo! Okay. That worked. So now what they say is to level it, and I'm not sure how you level it. How do you level it? So in order to increase the viscidity between the plate and the print object, you need to tape the print area before printer. Okay, yes, that's what I've done. Open the tape, yep, okay, fine. SD printer test file can be downloaded at 101 Hero, save and press start. I think I've already got that actually. Got the fire extinguisher ready. I probably should grab that, hey. So I'm gonna grab there's the 101 Hero folder. I've got a motor test file. Let's have a look at that. So I'm going to unzip that. Actually, no, they're not zip, they're .7z, so 7-zip, which is weird. Motor test. Okay, let's try that. All right. I won't show you the screen just because it's pretty boring and cluttered at this stage. So it's designed to basically run the file straight off the SD card. So you put the SD card and then press on and it just runs. So you can only have one file at a time, I believe. Something like that. Let's see what happens. Right, here we go. Ooh, it sounds crunchy. That does sound crunchy. It's working though. Of course, someone's trying to call me just because that's what happened. Well, that worked. Is that all it does? What does the test do? About 2 minutes later, the extruder will move to touch the limit switch, then move to begin printing the model you just saved now. Okay. I didn't save a model. So, what you just saw then, if I can find it again, can't use a mouse because all the USB ports are taken up, was supposedly motor test. And if I can open that up, here you go. There you go. So we've got G28 is homing. And then setting the extruder to 0. Interesting. I think that's it. That's all it does. Okay. Well, that's boring. That's not what I wanted. I'm just going to find a file and see if it works and level it as it goes. Let's do that. Okay, I already downloaded a Rook, so I'm going to try that. No, it's not heating, it's not doing anything. It wasn't set to anything. Yeah, that's all it did, just moved it up and down. So I'm going to try this Rook that I downloaded from their website. Place. Right. Okay. Let's try this again. Get your Rooks off. I'm not doing a benchy. You guys, there's no way I'm doing a benchy. Sorry. I refuse to buy into that. It's way too slow to do a benchy. In fact, this Rook's going to take like 2 hours, so I'm not going to let it finish. I'm just basically just trying to get it to move so I can see what I need to do next. Right, so apparently when you're calibrating it, there's some calibration points. Oh, really? You adjust the limit switch contact points to calibrate it? Well, right then. So apparently to calibrate it, you adjust the screws where it contacts with the limit switch on all three. So I can see what you mean, NTW, with enjoying my calibration, because that's going to take frickin' forever. I mean, adjusting that on one machine is terrible. But I'm just going to leave it and see what it does now and then go from there. Because I don't know how you adjust it otherwise. I don't know. I'm going to try running it from Repetier or something next. See how we go. Welcome to cheap deltas. Yeah, that's fun. I can't see an easy way to do it other than you have to move it out of the way from the limit switch and then move it back up. So it will be out of calibration because one's closer than the other already because the limit switch lever's broken off, as someone mentioned. But at least it's moving. At least the motors aren't broken. It does sound so crunchy though. It's sort of like going... It's moving. Nothing's coming out. I guess because I hadn't primed the nozzle yet. See if I can get you closer. It's amazing it's working at all. I did not expect a product, let alone something like this. So the filament is feeding forwards, so it'll eventually start catching up. So I'll probably kill this print and then plug it back in so it rehomes and then try again. Yeah, this is exciting, isn't it? So exciting. Even if it is working for the broken limit switch, you got a thumbs up. Yeah, that's right. You guys were betting if it would be broken. Though to be completely fair, no, serious actually. If this was shipped to someone who didn't know what to look for, they would have broken it. Well, it was broken, but it's an easy fix. But if it was shipped to someone who had never used a 3D printer before, they would have tried to home it, and it would have just kept trying to home. And NEMA 17 motors will just go click, 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 click. It's really obvious something's wrong. These don't make any noise. They're really quiet. they're going to just break themselves, essentially. Oh, there's plastic coming out of it finally. That's hilarious. Okay, I am going to do something that no one should do. I'm going to adjust it while it's printing just a little bit and then turn it off and turn it on again. So it's a little bit closer. Which is the broken one? That's the broken one, so that's already okay. And this one a bit closer. Okay. Right, I'm gonna kill it. And then plug it back in. Hopefully it rehomes and will come back down, and it should be a smidge closer. In theory. Yeah, it just started extruding and it's too far away from the bed. But that's okay. That's all right, we can fix this. It will home itself. You can't, there's no controls. There's the box. There's nothing I can do. There we go. Oh, that's hot. Who would have thought? Okay. I suspect this one with the broken limit switch or the broken lever may have been damaged slightly. I'm not sure. Possibly. It's still too far away, but I might get away with it. I don't know. Let it keep going. What do you guys think? Are you amazed this thing even exists? Because I crap on Kickstarter projects a lot. Like a lot. And I've backed campaigns from over a year ago that haven't delivered, like the Bevel from Matter and Form, who made a scanner, which was on Kickstarter, so I thought it'd be safe. Hasn't showed up. The Tico was over a year late. You saw campaigns like the Cobblebot have kits that were just disastrous, and they were threatening to sue their own backers for trying to, get refunds and put out the information. This thing didn't exist a few months ago, and even though it's crap, really, I think it's a glimpse of the next evolution of 3D printing for the low end, at least. That's how I see it. I don't see it as a good machine. Put paper under the glass bed. That's a pretty good idea. So Joel's asking, I have to ask, why haven't you gone and broken the other two switches to make the towers even? Then I have to flip them all around, which would be annoying. Right, so it's way too far away from the bed still. Yeah, I'm gonna do what someone suggested. I'm gonna put some paper under the bed. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Where's some paper? So it's going to be a bit interesting because I'm going to have to do it quickly while it's moving up. Change the cam. Okay, there you go. Put this on a tissue box so you can see it. There you go. I gotta be quick. I can't grab it. Oh God. Please no. All right, it's only held on two sides, that'll do. It'll have to do. That was the sketchiest thing I've ever done. Yeah, I should have probably unplugged it when it was up. but I'm not that clever. I can hear clicking, which isn't great. Not sure where that's coming from. Might need to tension those screws a tiny bit more, actually. God, that head just floats. It just literally floats. Oh God, it's so slow. It's supposedly printing. I mean, it's just making bits of stuff. No, it's not too close. It's definitely not too close. It's balling up. It's yeah, interesting. All right, I'm going to kill it again. And I'm going to make it a little bit closer to the bed. I'm going to get rid of the paper. Great, it's stuck to the bed now. Okay, can't get it out without moving the nozzle back up. Oh God. It's moving so fast, I think you should slow it down. Astounding 14 millimeters per second. Yeah, you get what you pay for, and it is not fast. I never expected it to be fast. I do have various adhesion materials. What could I use? I have Magic Goo, actually. Let's try that. I can find it. Oh, I'm going to kill it while it's going up. All right, you go there. I don't know where the Magic Goo is. Sorry. I'm going to make it slightly closer and then try again. Yeah, that's all it's done so far. Absolute rubbish. I ruined the illusion, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Yeah, pay no heed to what you just saw. Okay. So I'm going to make it a lot closer. A lot closer. So I think it's pretty obvious that we're not going to get it printing properly today at this stage, considering that this test file itself is going to take like 2 or more hours. It's not a fast printer. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's try that. Yeah, the Block Zero is printing really well. It's a really good little machine. I mean, if you saw my stream from last week, it's like night and day in terms of getting a print off it. It was good to go straight away. This one, not so much. I was turning wait, why am I turning counterclockwise? Oh, so I should be. Oh, wow. Yep, you're very true, very true. So I should be turning the other way. I am super clued on today. So I'll go one, and then another one. So I was making it worse, basically. Okay. I would be so lost without you guys. All right, and this final one. Yeah, we need Lady Muse back. She can keep you guys entertained when I'm doing silly things like this. She'll be back. She will be back. Don't worry. All right. All right, let's try that. Why not? Why not? Right. So the hex screws were my idea, but Angus's hero already has them. What was there before? What was? How did you like level it before they had the hex screws? Was it like a normal screwdriver? Because that would have been absolutely disastrous because you can't get it in there. Is it a heated bed? No, it's not. No, it is not a heated bed. It is a cheap, really cheap machine, PLA only, and it is a glass bed. That's just what it is. Oh, Phillips screw. God. How would you even do that? I don't know. Yeah, I think my thoughts on the A8 is pretty much what hashtag real name just said. There's already so much content on it already. If you want to know about it, go review it. Go watch those reviews instead of asking for one here. Also, I'm not sure why people often ask to review printers that they already have, for me to review printers they already have, because I don't really see the point. If you already got it, then how does it matter if I review it good or bad? It's too late. Oh man, that is so far away. Yeah, I can see what you mean about the calibration. Well, I'm going to see what happens. Does the Cetus need to be tethered? No, the Cetus has an internal SD card and it caches. Also, it can be printed with Wi-Fi. Throw away your Ultimaker 3 and get one of these babies. Although, I guess you could buy how many of these for the price of one Ultimaker? I guess you could buy 20? I don't know. A lot? Yeah. It is flimsy. Very flimsy. Right, well, while that's doing that, I'm going to fire up Repetier and see if the machine can be connected to. Do I even have it on this computer? No, I don't. Great. Good start. What's the cost? This is an early bird machine, so it cost me $59 US. Is that even, I can't even tell if it's close enough. Is it close enough? It's on the bed. Right, well, apparently it's close enough, even though it looked far away. Maybe it's just an illusion. So it should technically be working. Yeah, I'm not going to download it now, it'll kill the stream. I will try that at another time. So I think it's a bit too close, but it's still working, and it's still good. Yeah, I've already got the driver, NTW, don't worry about that. It's just a standard UART thing. Yeah. Yeah, I would not buy this for $90 plus shipping. No way. It is not worth it. Yeah, it's a bit too close, but that's okay. If it can get through this first layer, it doesn't matter. You ordered the Olo Ono. Yeah, I still think that's super dodgy. Every trade show that they've been at, they've pretty much not had it working. Hasn't been a working one in the wild. You shot, more like, yes. The filament is just feeding from a coil here, off to the side, which is hanging on the floor. Pretty much. There's no spool holder, there's no nothing. There's no wire management beyond some basic stuff. But it is moving. It is actually moving. And I'm sure once it gets past its kerfluffle with the first layer, it'll be fine. The filament is feeding, which is incredible. It looks crap, but oh well. How fast is it running right now? I don't know. This is one of their demo files. So this is how fast you're meant to run it, apparently. I'm going to see if I can get you a better angle, actually. Where's something a bit smaller? Spool holder. I was trying to find a tripod mount for this camera, but couldn't quite get one. Let's try this. How's that? No, can't quite get the wire around. There you go. Nice close-up of it printing rubbish. It's not extruding properly at all. I'm going to tighten these up even more. The plastic's kind of just dribbling out. It's not really extruding. I mean, I can feel it, but there's no way to verify if it's actually coming out properly, or the gear's turning properly. That is not extruding right at all. It's just, oh, I don't know. This, as soon I touch it and it just wobbles. Oh wow! All right. Well, that was interesting. The filament is definitely not coming out correctly at all. Fair play, it does look shite. Yeah, I'm not massively impressed with it right now. I'm trying to get it to flow properly. It just doesn't seem to be extruding properly at all. It just seems to be making a mess. Hey, NTW, how tight do you tighten your cover for the extruder? That motor's getting hot. It's getting very hot. So far, the only printing has been when I've been pushing the filament through by hand. Yeah, there's no spring tension. It's like a cover, and it's not extruding. Maybe my extruder motor's dud. Maybe I killed it. No, it's totally not extruding. All right, I'm going to kill it. Yep. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, these little motors don't like to get hot, so I killed it. I suspect that the torque's so low that it just really struggles. Yeah, all right. So it does extrude. It will extrude. I'm going to do a dry run to see if it's still turning. So that's my print. That's terrible. Yep, that's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Right. You can enjoy my view of me now. So that was unimpressive. I kind of expected it as such though. So I'm going to do a dry run, see if it's still turning, and it'll be one of two things. One, I've either blown it up and it's not turning anymore, or two, I need to figure out tension, otherwise it's going to take a while to do. So let's try that. And I think we're going to have to kill it because at this stage, we're not really getting anything functional from it, and we've been going for over almost 2 hours. And I need to get on with things, which is, yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, I will do Cure and all that, but right now I just want to see if it runs still, if it turns. Put it in the trash. Right, yeah. That's probably your experience with it too. Yeah, again, to reiterate, I didn't buy this expecting a real printer. I bought this as a sort of a moment in history as the cheapest printer ever on Kickstarter, and it actually came. So from here on, it will probably be modified quite heavily. But it's been an interesting experience. Yeah. What I'm going to do is just do a dry run with the door open, and I just want to see if it's actually turning. If it's not turning, I've broken it. I'll have to get another motor, which I do. I have loads of these 3D pen bits everywhere, so I can probably fix it pretty easy. All right, let's have a look. So let's see if you can see it too. So that's where we're looking to see if that thing turns. Well, I saw it turn a bit. It's printing so slowly I can't even tell. It is, okay, it is turning. Yeah, okay, it is turning. Right, so that's less disastrous than I thought, but still pretty crap. Sorry guys, I know it's hard to film inside the cavity, but it is turning. It's just really, really slow. So, to recap, don't buy this printer at all if you're expecting a 3D printer, because it's not, it's crap. But I'm gonna see if I can get it to work, and I'm gonna try to get it working with a Repetier, so if I can tether it. Because I did, as I said at the start of the stream, buy the consumer version, and it has exactly the same box, and as we suspect, probably the same firmware. So I'm gonna see if I can get that going. And for those who missed it, the files on 101 land, which you add to the SD card and it starts printing automatically, they seem to be sliced with Simplify 3D, which is interesting because it kind of violates their terms of service. But it means I can make a profile from Simplify 3D using their G code already. So I'm going to do that. Right. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if you were disappointed, but also I'm glad to have done this because now maybe some of you will save up a bit more to buy a real 3D printer instead of buying this. And I am also going to apologize for the terrible internet. Again, new premises, we're still trying to get the fiber connected, and I rely solely on 4G, which is supported by my patrons. So thank you so much to you guys for supporting me. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you all have a wonderful Friday evening, Saturday, whatever you like. And I'm going to edit this so the whole start of the stream's gone, but I will put it up online if anyone wants to see how terrible this is. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you again very shortly here on Makers Muse. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Yeah.